Next is from Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Subject AEW Stadium show. Hi guys, what's your ratings prediction for AEW in the Asher Stadium? And also, what about Raw? Since they'll have heavy NFL match on, how will the ratings play out? We always talk about. You'll hear. I don't know. This is weird because like they did like a 1.3 2 weeks ago. 200,000 people dropped off to like about a 1.1. I think they'll definitely get a lot of those back. And my whole thing has been, can they get to 1.4, which is their initial audience?
I think they'll beat it.
I think it'll be right on the. It'll be right on the line.
Right
like
there,
you know, if you draw a line in the sand and you're standing tiptoe on, like I think you'll be right there. But it's their biggest show they've ever done. They're in a huge arena. They're in a huge venue. Championship matches with the new stars that have been like juicing up the numbers. Like Daniel Bryan and Cole have been and Punk have juiced up the numbers. Like period. They got. Well, I think we can all agree that AEW would have still been around like 900,000, a million, like the same thing if they hadn't in the past 6 weeks added Punk, Bryan, and Cole. Could we all agree on that?
I would say so, yeah. But
Tony, you agree on that?
Probably, yeah.
We all agree on that. Okay, so if they're all on this show,
they're not.
Oh, who's not on the show?
One thing that's interesting, I was going to say, is that Adam Cole and Punk's matches are both on Rampage on Friday. But,
really?
But Dynamite is being carried by your Omega versus Bryan Danielson match.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's underneath that?
Britt versus Ruby, Sting and Darby versus FTR, Malachi Black versus Cody, and Brian Pillman versus MJF is on Wednesday.
Why isn't everybody on that show? Why isn't everybody on that? Everybody should be on that.
Yeah, I'm like, right.
Friday.
That should be the...
Friday's Adam Cole and the Bucks versus Christian and Jurassic Express.
Well, maybe they're trying to get Rampage ratings
Trying to get
up.
both, yeah. Jericho and Hager versus Sky and Page. Punk versus Hobbs. Suzuki Gun versus Moxley and Kingston.
Punk versus Hobbs is on Rampage?
It's on Rampage.
Bro, Punk versus Hobbs should have been on this Wednesday show.
Yeah, they're kind of looks like they're splitting it up, but
this is where guys like me and Conan who have been booked and we it's like if your point is if you want to try to get the numbers, juice the numbers up. It's like saying bro, I'm staying at Caesars right now, right? Mm. The Bacchanal buffet is like the buffet on steroids in Vegas. It's got everything. And it's like, you like if somebody was trying to convince you, like, well, we don't need this. No, you need all this, which is why there's a massive crowd in here. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's so weird because I hear when I hear clips from like Alvarez and Dave and stuff, everybody always tries to poo-poo when they're quote unquote giving stuff away.
Like
it's like, dude, professional wrestling needs good free content right now at a maximum to get fans. You're barely running you're running 4 pay-per-views a year. WWE doesn't even run pay-per-views anymore. They're on a network that you got to pay a subscription thing for. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to hold stuff back on weekly television. I would argue that with anybody.
It's tough.
You're trying to say, save it. Save it for what?
Yeah, and I understand
what
that.
are you saving stuff
but
for? I don't get that.
If their opinion is not to hot shot or whatever you call it.
The hot shot does.
But
hot shotting works every time. Because every time a hot shotting show, there's been a hot shot show, the show's been good.
Yeah.
But everybody says like, well, they're pay-per-view. No. Nobody gives a about that. But all these fans will watch the pay-per-views anyway.
Isn't Omega versus Danielson hot shotting?
It's not hot shotting.
No, I'm saying I'm saying if their argument is don't hot shot this, save for a pay-per-view, but at the same time they're pro Omega versus Danielson, they're kind of contradicting themselves.
Well, we had like when WCW's around, there was like a top 12 to 13 top stars, right? So 2 to 3 matches every single night were main events in any arena in the country.
Yeah.
You didn't hold back on like that. You didn't put Hall and Nash against Prince Iake and Lash LaRue. Mm-hmm. It's like that's a waste. There's no reason you put Hall and Nash against the Steiner brothers. Like that was like bro. It's like these guys don't get what draws. What draws is like your stars, and like you have stars right now. Don't stick them in the dugout. It's like you're sticking them in the bullpen. Mm-hmm. You got a bunch of starting pitchers. Let's all get them together instead of like okay, go sit in the bullpen for a while. That's why I don't get, like, bro, these shows can be, like, everybody talks about, AEW's, bro, your shows, like, here's the Tony Khan. Bro, your shows can be better, and they can be better. Mm. And if you're thinking, like, you can save stuff, screw that. put the stuff that you think you can save on now and work from there and see how it gets over. Because like stuff that gets over, I'm gonna say it, I don't get that.
Here's a problem.
Hot shotting.
Yeah.
That's how. Like we need good TV. The wrestling fans that we're trying to draw, we're trying to get back, need great TV right now. And it's like you're giving good TV in spots, great TV in spots, but like but say Comorado versus Dustin Rhodes in a bull rope match is the main event on one of your Dynamite shows. Is like, what are you guys thinking? That's not. Who are you trying to sell this product to? Like, who are you trying to draw? So that's what I would say. Well, what are your comments, Conan?
I don't even remember what the question is.
What's your prediction for the ratings?
Oh yeah, the ratings.
Yeah. Here's the question. We'll get over the 1.4, 1.3. Like 2 weeks ago was 1 point. Will be higher or lower than 2 weeks ago when it was like a 1.376, whatever it was. Will be higher or lower than that?
Around that same number.
Yeah.
They're going to find out if people are going to. If they need the friendship call. Hey, you know what? Put it on. Brian's on AEW. Brian versus Omega. Can you believe that? And see if that actually matters to people.
Yeah, but I don't think that doesn't resonate outside the box.
Probably not.
I think Brian versus another like
Cole.
But if you want to, that's the thing. If you want to draw, you got to use the tools you have to draw. The draws right now, the WWE got. That's what's drawing the numbers. Like the people that watch Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, you take in some of their guys and put them on this show, and you are going to have people that like them to watch this show. You're not getting the guy that marked out for Austin versus Brett in WrestleMania 13 to come back and watch this. You're getting the WWE fans to try and watch your show, which is why I think from a ratings from a strategic standpoint, you should put these WWE guys on the show and forget what your fans are going to say because they'll watch anyway. They're not going to stop watching, but you may draw the WWE fans. That's and I'll argue that ad nauseum. I think that's a ratings winner.
And another weird thing is they're placing Punk and Cole on the Friday night show, but it's going to be taped. That doesn't matter outside the bubble.
I don't know.
Yo, what up? This is Conan, and I host Keeping It 100 with my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!